Lesson 2, Solving Quadratic Equations. So before we go to the main topic, let's have first a review. Okay, how are we going to solve for x if we have the given equation x plus 5 equals 8? So as you can see, this is a linear equation. So kapag sinabi natin na solve, we are getting the value of x to make the left side of the equation equals to the right side of the equation. So this is the left side, this is the right side. Okay, and how are we going to do this? First, we have to isolate x in the left side of the equation, and all the constants will be placed at the right side. So, paano solve ito? So, kukuhanin natin ang additive inverse ng positive 5. So, we have x plus 5 equals 8. So, we have 5 or positive 5. Ang kanyang additive inverse ay negative 5. So, we are going to subtract negative 5 on both sides of the equation. So, we have 5 minus 5, that is 0. So, x equals, or x plus 0 equals 3. So, x plus 0, so x is equal to 3. So, as you can see, the value of x to satisfy the equation is 3. So, if our x is 3, so we will have x plus 5 equals 8. So, we have 3 plus 5 equals 8. So, 3 plus 5, 8 is equal to 8. So, ganyan din ang gagawin natin kapag quadratic equations. So, kukuhanin natin kapag sinabing solving quadratic equations, we are trying to get the value of the unknown variable to satisfy our equation. In solving quadratic equations, we have 4 ways. So, number 1, by extracting square root. Number 2, by factoring. 3, by completing the square. And number 4, by quadratic formula. So, for the first one, by extracting the square root, so, we are going to solve the quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus c equals 0. So, lahat ng quadratic equation na ganito ang form, pwede siyang isolve using extracting square root. Then, sunod, by factoring. Sa factoring, ang form na pwedeng gamitin natin ay yung ax squared plus bx equals 0. So, ang gagamitin dito ay monomial factoring at ang ating factorable na standard form na ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So, sa completing the square, so ginagamit ang all forms, pwede ang all forms, at sa ating by quadratic formula, pwede rin ang all forms of quadratic equations. Okay, in solving quadratic equations by extracting square roots, so we have 3 steps to follow. First step, isolate the x term on the left side of the equation using addition and subtraction property of equality. Second, eliminate coefficients on the x squared using multiplication or division property of equality. And number 3, apply the square root property, then simplify. So, for the first step, ang una daw gagawin, i-isolate or iiwanan si x squared sa left side at si constant dadalhin sa right side. So, kung naririto ay negative 100, so we have negative 100, ano ang kanyang additive inverse? So, ang additive inverse niya ay positive 100. So, ang i-add natin both sides ay positive 100. So, magiging siyang x squared minus 100 plus 100 equals 0 plus 100. Kung anong ginawa sa left side, yun din ang gagawin sa right side. Then, simplify. x squared minus 100 plus 100. So, negative 100 plus 100, that is 0. Then, 0 plus 100, that is 100. So, remaining is x squared minus 0 equals 0 plus 100, 100. So, we have x squared equals 100. Then, we are going to apply the square root property. So, sa square root property, ang gagawin natin, yung left side at saka right side, ay ilalagay natin sa square root sign, sa loob ng square root sign. Okay. Then, ano ang square root ng x squared? So, we have x equals, then square root ng 100. Ano yung dalawang number na pareho na kapag minultiply ay 100? So, that is 10. So, we have positive or negative 10. So, we have x sub 1 equals 10. And now, our x sub 2 equals 10. So, dalawa ang ating solution. Ang isa ay positive 10 at ang isa ay negative 10. Negative 10, sorry. Okay. Ngayon, bakit positive at saka bakit negative 10? Kasi, yung 100, yung ating 100, pwede siya na 10 times 10, tsaka negative 10 times negative 10. So, 10 times 10 is 100, negative 10 times negative 10 is also 100. Kaya ang square root ng 100 ay positive 10 at saka negative 10. Okay, let's have our checking. So, kapag may nakuha na solution, kailangan natin ng checking. So, ang gagamitin sa checking ay yung ating original equation. Ang ating original equation ang laging gagamitin sa checking. So, if, unahin natin kung 10. If x equals 10, tsaka if x equals negative 10. Okay. So, original equation, x squared minus 100 equals 0. If x is 10, so magiging siyang 10 squared minus 100 equals 0. So, ito ay equation or question mark. Then, what is 10 squared? 10 times 10? 100 minus 100 equals 0. So, 0 equals 0. So, as you can see, 10 is a solution. Now, what if x is equal to negative 10? So, we have original equation, x squared minus 100 equals 0. So, you have negative 10 squared minus 100 equals 0. Negative 10 times negative 10, that is 100 minus 100 equals 0. So, we have 100 minus 100, 0 equals 0. So, we have question mark, question mark, question mark, checking. Okay, so therefore, so 3 dots is a symbol for therefore. The solutions are 10 and negative 10. Example number 2. Find the two roots of the expression 2x squared plus 8 equals 40. So, let's have our solution. So, for our solution, let's have 2x squared plus 8 equals 40. So, let us apply, or let's have apply the addition property of equality by putting this 8 to the right side of the equation. So, by addition property of equality, so we will have 2x squared. To eliminate, additive inverse of positive 8 is negative 8. Equals 40. Kung anong ginawa sa left side, gagawin din sa right side. Nag-minus ng 8, magma-minus din ng 8. Then, Positive 8 minus 8 is 0. So that will become 2x squared equals 40 minus 8 is 32. Okay, so this is by APE. Okay, sunod. Dapat x squared lang ang nasa left side. Ay dito, meron pang 2. So, paano natin eliminate ang 2? So, we are going to divide both sides by 2. 2. So, this is by division property of equality. Then, cancel. So, we have x squared equals, what is 32 divided by 2? That is 16. Then, we are going to apply the square root property. Square root property. Okay. So, x squared, the square root of x squared is x. And the square root of 16 is positive or negative 4. So, therefore, x sub 1 is equal to positive 4. X sub 2 equals negative 4. Then, let's go to checking. So, for our checking, so if x equals 4, okay, so we have original formula, original quadratic equation, 2x squared plus 8 equals 40. So, substitute x by 4, so we have 2 times 4 squared plus 8 equals 40. So, what is 4 times 4 or 4 squared? So, 2 times 16 plus 8 equals 40. So, 16 or 2 times 16, that is 32 plus 8 equals 40. So, 32 plus 8 is 40 equals 40. So, therefore, our first solution is positive 4. Okay. How about if x is equal to negative 4? So, if x is equal to negative 4, so palitan lang natin to. I'll just remove this. So, we will have 2x squared plus 8 equals 40. Papalitan si x ng negative 4. So, magiging 2 times negative 4 squared plus 8 equals 40. So, negative 4 times negative 4, that is positive 16. So, 2 times 16 plus 8 equals 40. So, 2 times 16, that is 32. Plus 8 equals 40. So, we have 40. 32 plus 8 is 40 equals 40. So, therefore, x sub 1 equals 4 and x sub 2 equals negative 4. Example number 3, solving quadratic equations by extracting square root. So, find the solution of negative 3x squared minus 6 equals negative x squared minus 12. So, for our solution, okay, so we have negative 3x squared minus 6 equals negative x squared minus 12. So, ilan ang ating quadratic term? So, we have 2. Dalawa. Ito, tsaka ito. So, ang gagawin natin, i-isolate daw natin lahat ng x squared sa left side at lahat ng constant sa right side. So, itong si x squared, mapapupunta dito, at yung si negative 6, pupunta naman doon. Paano? By getting the additive inverse. Ano ang additive inverse ni negative x squared? So, negative x squared, ang additive inverse niya ay positive x squared. Okay, so gawin natin. So, we have negative 3x squared minus 6 equals negative x squared plus x squared minus 12. Okay. Kung ano ang ginawa sa right side, gagawin sa left side plus x squared. Okay. Then, meron pa ditong negative 6. So si x squared, nadala na natin dito. So, ito namang si negative 6, dadali naman natin sa right side. So, kung ito ay negative 6, so negative 6, ano ang kanyang additive inverse? So, we have positive 6. So, we have negative 3x squared minus 6 plus x squared. So, positive 6 equals, look at this, negative x squared plus x squared. So, cancel. So, that is negative 12. Kung anong ginawa sa left side, gagawin sa right side, plus 6. Then, simplify. So, we will have negative 3x squared. Okay. Look at this. Negative 6, positive 6. So, we can cancel. So, natira, plus x squared equals, negative 12 plus 6. So, we have negative 6. Okay. Then, negative 3x squared plus x squared. As you can see, mayroon siyang 1 dito. So, negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2x squared equals negative 6. Okay. So, then, apply natin ang division property. Let's divide both sides by negative 2. By negative 2. So, cancel. So, we have x squared is equal to negative 6 divided by negative 2. That is positive 3. Okay. Then, applying the square root property. So, ilalagay natin sa square root property. Okay. So, square root ng x squared ay x. So, ngayon, may square root ba ang 3? So, as you can see, ang 3 ay hindi perfect square number. Ang 3 ay hindi perfect square number. Kaya, ang gagawin na lang natin, we are going to copy this. So, positive, negative, square root of 3. So, x sub 1 equals positive square root of 3. And x sub 2 equals negative square root of 3. So, kapag ang nakuha nyo ay not perfect square number, kinokopya na lamang ang ating solution at nilalagay ang positive at saka negative 3. Our solution for negative 3x squared minus 6 is equal to negative x squared minus 12 are x sub 1 equals positive square root of 3 and x sub 2 equals negative square root of 3. So, let's do the checking. If x is equal to square root of 3, so again, we're going to use the original or the given equation. So, negative 3x squared minus 6 equals negative x squared minus 12. So, we're going to substitute x by square root of 3. So, we have negative 3 square root of 3 minus 6. So, this is squared. Okay, equals negative square root of 3 squared minus 12. Okay, so let us first simplify what is inside the square root or the parentheses. So, we have negative 3. So, we have square root of 3 times square root of 3 square root of 9. So, that is square root of 9 minus 6 equals negative square root of 3 times square root of 3, that is square root of 9 minus 12. Then, square root of 9 is 3. So, we have negative 3 times 3 minus 6 equals, so this is square root of 9 is positive 3. So, we have negative 3 minus 12. So, we have negative 3 times 3 is negative 9 minus 6 equals negative 3 minus 12 is negative 15. So, negative 9 minus 6 is negative 15 equals negative 15. So, our solution is correct. Then, let's see if it is x equals negative 3. So, again, the original equation, 3x squared minus 6 equals negative x squared minus 12. Change x by negative square root of 3, so negative 3 times negative square root of 3 squared minus 6 equals negative of negative square root of 3 squared minus 12. So we have negative 3, again, negative 3 times negative square root of 3 times negative square root of 3 is square root of 9. Then minus 6 equals negative square root of 3 times negative square root of 3 is square root of 9 minus 12. So we have negative 3 square root of 9 is 3 minus 6 equals negative square root ng 9 is 3 minus 12. So we have negative 3 times 3 is negative 9 minus 6 equals negative 3 minus 12. So negative 9 minus 6 is negative 15 equals negative 3 minus 12 is negative 15. So therefore, the solution is square root of 3 negative square root of